So what is the best Forex pair? Which Forex pair should you choose? And what determines a good Forex pair? This is what we will cover in this video. So hello, welcome back, and I have pulled up the 6 majors in Forex: the US dollar, Aussie, British pound, US dollar CAD, yen, and the US dollar Swissy. And you can see they are in very different phases, whereas the Euro US dollar is in a good trending phase, just like the British pound US dollar. The US dollar Swissy has a weaker trend, and the other ones, well, the US dollar yen and the Aussie US dollar, they're pretty much dead for the past month and just sideways action without any direction. Same is for the US dollar CAD, but here we see now an early breakout. So you can see that if you focus on just trading, for example, the Euro US dollar, which I see many traders do, what you will have is that right now you might have a good trending phase, but if this stops, you might have a phase like the Aussie where it just goes sideways for 3, 4, 5 weeks. No one knows. Here you can see that the US dollar yen, which has been popular in the past, there were 2 months of sideways phases, then 2 days of trending, and then another month of sideways phase. And what happens is, if you limit yourself on just trading one Forex pair, then you will have to sit through those cycles where many traders will say, okay, I'm a trend follower, I trade trends. But if the market is dead, there's nothing for you to trade and you should just do nothing. And how hard will it be for you to do nothing for 2 months where nothing happens? Of course, you will end up making bad trading decisions, jumping in, jumping out, and just getting bored and frustrated, and that's totally normal. So if you limit yourself on just trading 1 or maybe even 2 Forex pairs and you want to become a specialist, I think this is the wrong path, at least for the traders who trade the 1 hour and the higher time frames. If you are a day trader, the different cycles, sideways ranges and trends, they will rotate much faster. So a cycle will be over much sooner, and you don't need to sit maybe through a cycle or a range where nothing happens for a month or 2, but maybe just for a day or 2. But still, if you limit yourself on a few pairs, there will be a lot of waiting involved. So let me give you the right process about how to find the right Forex pairs and what you need to consider. So first of all, you need to ask yourself, what is your system, your trading system, your style based on? What are the assumptions? What are the requirements? Which market phases do you need? Are you a trend trader? And are you an early trend trader? Are you a late trend trader? Do you trade reversals? Do you trade breakouts? Do you trade high volatility and low volatility markets? And this is something that you need to be very, very crystal clear about. If you don't know that about your trading system, you need to stop and really take a piece of paper, write down what is the idea of your system, what are you trying to do. Go back through your trades and look at how do the good trades look like, what do they have in common, and write it down. And only if you know what your system is based on, you can move forward and you have any chance of becoming successful as a trader. In my eyes, and what I use is a checklist. I think it's very, very helpful, where you just write down the different criteria. What do you need in a market? How does a good trade setup look like? And what are the requirements? And then you just go through the checklist one by one, and you'll see, do you have a market that fits your criteria or not? And after a while, you may not need a checklist. It will become automatic and you will know what to look for. But in the beginning, and if you don't know the assumptions and the requirements of your system, you really need to start there. And then for me personally, so let me explain what I do. I trade the 1 hour, the 2 hour, 4 hour, the 8 to 12 and the daily time frame. So I trade more or less the higher time frames, a little bit medium to longer time frames. And I follow around 50 Forex pairs, CFDs, commodities. So I pretty much follow all the Forex pairs that my broker offers. This does not mean that I will trade the same pairs every week. I will not trade 50 pairs every week, but every Saturday and every Wednesday I go through every Forex pair one by one, and I look at, okay, is there a trend, yes or no? Do we have a volatility range, or is it a small volatility? How does the market look like? Is this a pair that I can focus on for the next week because the market conditions are right, or is this a Forex pair that is not good and it's just dead and I cannot do anything for it? Or what I also do is, if the trend has matured for a long time and the trend has been going on, I will step aside as well, because I'm a new trend follower. I don't care about mature trends. And then I have, maybe after 50 pairs that I've gone through, I've narrowed down to what usually happens is between 10 and 18 pairs that I can follow then for the next few days, that are in a good position, that have the good technicals, that have the right trend direction. I can maybe find good patterns on them. And those are the ones where I then create my trading plans for, where I set my price alerts. I ask myself, okay, what has to happen before I get involved into a market or not? And this is then how I can narrow it down from 50 random pairs that are all over the place to maybe 10 pairs where I have good setups, good trading opportunity coming up, and all I need to do is wait and see what happens. And for this filtering process, you can do it in different ways, obviously. You can do it on price action alone. What are the candles? How do the candles have to look like? What are you looking for? Or maybe you are looking for certain patterns. Maybe you look for a market where you have very clear support and resistance. You have a clear pattern, whatever you're looking for, a head and shoulders, a triangle, a wedge. And you can clearly see that the market is very well respecting the levels. And only those pairs will go into your inner watch list, and the other ones you forget about. Or you can also use indicators. If you are a trend trader, maybe you only look for Forex pairs where they are trading above or below a certain moving average, where they have just crossed above or below a certain moving average. Maybe you use the Bollinger Bands to look for certain criteria in volatility and momentum. You can use the Downtian channel. You only look for Forex pairs that have just broken out or that have been rejected, depending on what style you trade. So you have a few things, and then you can narrow it down. And what will happen then at Monday morning, after you have done your selection process, you will end up just with great Forex pairs that have a good chance of generating a setup that is in line with your trading plan and with your system. And this is how you get more consistent in your approach, but also in your results.